two key elements to grafting. You have to have a rootstock, that is the tree that has its roots in the ground. And then you've got to have some scion wood, or you can call it budwood. And there are various ways to connect the scion wood to the rootstock. We're grafting this mulberry tree. This scion wood is the variety we're trying to grow. This was a stick that was harvested during the dormant season from 1-year-old growth. And right now I'm carving it down to expose just a little bit of the cambium, which is just a couple cell walls thick, and that's the green living tissue. This is a grafting knife. It's a single bevel knife, so sharp just on, got one angle there, the other side is flat. And that helps you get a really good, clean, flat cut. What we're doing today is a type of grafting called rind grafting. And essentially what you got to do is, at the right time of year, get the cambium of the scion wood to connect to the cambium of the rootstock. And I'm wrapping it up, wrapping this scion wood that I've prepared in the buddy tape, and that buddy tape's gonna hold the moisture in there. And then what's gonna happen is the buds that are underneath that buddy tape now, as they swell and grow, they're gonna break through the tape, and that tape's just gonna fall off and decompose. Fruit trees in particular mostly don't come true to type, and so we have to asexually propagate them. And so this is the standard way that fruit trees get produced. If you have an apple from the grocery store, say Granny Smith, there was one Granny Smith original tree, and now there are probably tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands in the world. They're all clones of that initial tree. Another reason to graft is if you're living in an urban setting where you don't have much land, you can pack a lot of different varieties into a small space. And then if you really want to geek out, you can use grafting for breeding purposes. This is something that Luther Burbank did, and he developed many hundreds of very famous varieties of all kinds of different fruits and vegetables. And one of his techniques was to plant hundreds of seedlings, let those grow out for a year or two, and then take wood from those seedlings and graft them to the tips of the trees. And so he can trial a variety in very short order. If he was to let that seedling grow, it wasn't going to make fruit for a decade or more. He just sped that process up by 5, 6, 7 years. Grassroots breeding projects are pretty exciting and especially important, I think, as we think about adapting climate change and developing new varieties that are going to be successful in our new climate reality. I'm Justin Holt. I'm teaching the Permaculture Design Course at Wild Abundance later this year. I hope you'll join us.